New York, a city that has been run by Democrats for decades, have finally said enough is enough. People are finally waking up to the disaster brewing under Mayor Zohran Mamdani. This isn't your average left-wing politician. No, this is a full-blown socialist who makes it clear that he wants to turn one of the greatest cities in America into a political experiment. It's the same socialist playbook that wrecked cities like San Francisco and Chicago. And now, he wants to run it right in New York. Welcome back. And if you're new, this is going to be a good one. So make sure you like, comment, consider subscribing for daily news updates. It means the world to me. And don't forget to share. New York citizens are starting to fight back. Even lifelong Democrats, people who once bought into the progressive dream, are saying this guy is too extreme. And you can see it. Just look what happened at his recent rally. He didn't get the hero's welcome that he was expecting. Protesters showed up, moderators booed him, and reports say that he even had to change up his event on the spot to calm things down. He's not fighting for New York. He's fighting to turn it into a socialist showcase. Let's start with this clip of Zohran allegedly shedding fake tears regarding his rally about 9/11, saying that his aunt was involved.
Speak to the memory of my aunt, who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Today he has his press conference. I watched a big chunk of it. I didn't hear any words for the victims of 9/11, but he found the real victim, his aunt.
Is he?
You know, the victims of 9/11 were in the Twin Towers. Those were the victims.
Is the implication here that he has to answer for the terrorists who attacked 9/11?
No, I think if you're going to have if you're going to run for mayor of New York City, or have any position in New York City, and you're going to talk about 9/11 or invoke 9/11, you darn sure better start with the people who died in the Twin Towers. That's what I think. And he didn't do that. And he kind of, he made it about his experience and his aunt and all this. My advice would be, if you're going to want to be the mayor of this town, and by the way, he's probably going to win. That moment in our history, you cannot lose sight of what happened. People died in those Twin Towers. They did not deserve to die. We did suffer a terrorist attack. And we can't really forget the moment, making it about him and his family. Okay, there were almost 3,000 people that died there. It's a big deal. It is true. Mamdani, he's allied himself with certain people. A lot of the people that surround him, the people involved in this democratic socialist organization, I mean, they have said more than a handful of eyebrow-raising things when it comes to their views of America, their views of Jewish people, and so on and so forth. He knows that. He does align himself with them. He doesn't really distance.
Before I react to the video, I want to read this tweet that was also linked with that video. It reads, "Breaking. It has just been revealed that the aunt Zohran Mamdani shed fake tears over, claiming she stopped riding the subway after 9/11 because she didn't feel safe wearing her hijab, neither wore a hijab nor lived in New York City at the time. She lived in Tanzania." And attached to the tweet was also receipts proving that she wasn't in New York at the time. She was in a different country. So, going back to the video, there's a lot to say. I'm not going to say if his tears were fake or not, but that level of emotion wasn't really there for me in conveying the message he was trying to get over. If Mamdani is going to mention 9/11, the least you could do is mention the actual victims who lost their lives and the families who are affected. Yes, we know. Everyone knows. After 9/11, women who wore their hijabs, they were stereotyped. There were scary things to be afraid of. But to mention your aunt going in the subway with it, and not even mentioning the people who really have trauma for it, like the family members who refuse to ride planes now, the family members who don't like being in skyscraper tall buildings, and the family members who just lost their loved ones. Those are the ones that have that trauma that really mattered for the incident that happened of 9/11. You could have at least gave heartfelt words to the people who lost their lives and their families. Another part that really stood out to me is when the reporters were speaking. They mentioned how Mamdani, he aligns himself with certain socialist organizations and groups. He doesn't do too much to limit himself and create distance before it. So he's making a lot of people concerned. I want to look at Speaker Johnson talking about Mamdani. Watch this.
We saw our clearest sign yet that this radical insurgent movement in the Democrat Party is succeeding. and they are ending what has always been known as the Democrat Party in America. After a months-long pressure campaign from the far left, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries finally relented. He gave in, and he gave his endorsement to the socialist running to be mayor of New York City. The House Democrats have chosen a side. They were forced to by that far left that they're so terrified of, and they've shown the world what they really believe. There is no longer a place for centrists and moderates in their party. The candidate that they have endorsed, Mamdani, is somebody who we've talked about a lot from this podium. He's sympathized with Hamas and openly embraced anti-Semitic language. He has called to, quote, seize the means of production because he is a Marxist. He's called to abolish our borders, to abolish and end immigration enforcement, to defund the police and to legalize prostitution, among a long list of hits that I could share with you. Zohran Mamdani is expected to take the helm of one of the most important cities in the world and the largest city in America. And he now has the full blessing of the Democrat leader in the House of Representatives. It is shocking. And that leader and all the other Democrats are going to co-own the consequences of what they do.
Mike Johnson lays it all out. He explains some of the reasons and the things that Mamdani is doing, such as things like seizing the means to production, because his behavior is appearing as if he's a Marxist. He also wants to open up the borders, defund the police, legalize prostitution, and eradicate immigration enforcement. All the things that are in place right now to have the world moving smoothly, he wants to erupt them. He wants to disturb everything that has been set, and he wants to change it for his own means. And they're going to end up suffering the consequences from all of these actions. Mike Johnson also referred to how New York City, it's one of the biggest cities and greatest cities in America, and it needs to be protected. They have to safeguard it from the actions that Mamdani is doing. Another point to bring out is that just last week, Hakeem Jeffries wasn't trying to say yes or no to if he was endorsing him, but he finally caved in apparently, and now he's publicly endorsing Mamdani. So I wonder what happened in the meantime that finally made him come out publicly and be on his side. Next, I want to read this tweet and then watch a quick clip of a video of Mamdani at a rally. Zohran Mamdani says he's going to build housing for anyone in need, freeze rent, make buses free, and provide universal childcare. He can't pay for any of this since he can't raise corporation taxes or state income taxes on billionaires. Only the state can.
We are going to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants and use every resource at our disposal to build housing for everyone who needs it. We are going to eliminate the fare on every single bus line and make what are currently the slowest buses in the nation move around this city with ease. And we are going to create universal childcare at no cost to parents, so New Yorkers can raise their family in the city they love. Together, New York, we're going to freeze the. Together, New York, we're going to make buses fast and. Together, New York, we're going to deliver universal. We will make our city one where every person who calls it home can live a
Clip, we can all hear Mamdani at the rally promising a lot of free things to the people. Bus fare, rent, childcare. He wants New York City to be a place where anyone can come and they'll be able to live a dignified life. They'll have everything open and free to their access. He's promising things that he can't afford. You can't offer so many free things to people and then not have a way to afford it. And the question for me is, yes, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. What if he is able to get all of these things approved and working? How will he maintain it and make sure that it's not being abused? How can he make sure the people who really need it are getting it, and that people who don't aren't just benefiting off of it for no reason? And something else to think about is, will this put New York in a huge amount of debt? What will happen in the future if this is how everything goes, if he does get his way? Will the New York citizens suffer because of it? Lastly, I want to take a look at this clip of Fox News reporting that New Yorkers are planning to evacuate if Mamdani wins the election.
Good afternoon, Sandra. Realtors in this exclusive area say there's a new sense of urgency for wealthy New York buyers. These are families, empty nesters looking to buy a home like this and gain residency. So some New Yorkers are taking a closer look at Florida's no state income tax, especially as a potential tax hike looms. Raising taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers has been one of Mamdani's key campaign promises. Luxury real estate agent Johnny Del Preti says this is a main concern.
High net worth people, you know, they're paying those taxes, so they really want to know what are they getting for what they're paying. There definitely has been more traffic, more flow through here in regards to showings.
And it's not just the realtors seeing the shift. Local officials say they're feeling it too. The mayor of Boca Raton says the Mamdani effect is real, and he's been fielding calls from worried New Yorkers. In June, the city launched a NewYorkToBoca.com, which has seen thousands of views, also igniting a billboard in Times Square.
We're getting people concerned about the potential of 17% tax rate just in city-state alone, potential of higher crime with comments about defunding police. Boca Raton is a stark contrast. The lowest property tax rate of any full-service city in Florida.
And Sandra, this home behind me is listed for $73 million, although that price tag may seem...
We can see that the things that Mamdani is doing in New York, they're not just staying in New York. They're having ripple effects to other areas of America. Most prominently, Florida. A lot of wealthy New Yorkers, they're afraid of that looming tax hike of 17%. So what are they doing? They're looking at places that have no state income tax. They're looking at all of these houses, and the market is increasing. Florida realtors are seeing an influx of New Yorkers come view houses and think about purchasing. Why? Because they're trying to get from under the things that Mamdani wants to happen. So the question is, if all of the wealthy New Yorkers are moving away and evacuating, where is all of this new tax revenue going to come from to pay for all of the free stuff Mamdani wants to have? It's going to come from the lower and middle class people, the people that actually need the help. Their money is going to be what's paying for the free stuff that they're getting back. They're paying for it anyways, so there's no point in what Mamdani is trying to do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on KW Lawaholic.